We are live, folks, and we've had good evening already from Darren. Good evening, Graham and Mel. We've got 4 or 5 people watching, mainly from YouTube, I think. Good evening to you too, Darren. Hope you're well on this Saturday evening. Hope everybody's okay and had a good weekend, or halfway through the good weekend. Here we are, Pellet Scrunch. Hi, Graham, pal. Robert, how are you, mate? How did you get on with your fishing today? Hope it was productive. Give us some likes on the old YouTube, folks. Give us the thumbs up if you can. That would be, there's a lot of people coming on all at once. So good to see Robert. Digger Tyson Fury, good to see you, sir. Hi. Digger Tyson Fury. Digger's Den Tyson Fury. Down in the grounds on. Hello to you. And let me just see if Robert's replied. Terry brother. Oh, now then, we've got lots and lots of people joining us all at once. In fact, we've had that many. I can't even keep up with all these. Andrew Allen, well done on the find today, sir. And he's got a massive pumpkin, apparently. Well, there you go. I didn't know he had a massive pumpkin. There you go. Melanie saying hello to everybody, as she does. Paul Calvert, good evening to you, sir. Hope you're well. Fishing lad from High Grain from Northumberland. Hi, fishing lad. The reason, actually bringing that up, and the reason why I'm doing a live stream tonight is because I'm fishing tomorrow for bass off the beach. So I will be out this time tomorrow night, hopefully. I'll be catching a few fish, and I will not be able to do a Sunday night live. We've got 8 carp from Robert Hunter Collinson today. Good fishing. Simon Austell, hello, Graham and Mel. Hope you're okay. I'm well, thank you, Simon. Treasure Huntress is on. Evening to you, lady. Paul Calvert, we've had Paul. But you know what? There's a lot of people on tonight that I've not actually seen. So we've got a huge pumpkin. There you go, Andrew Allen, a huge pumpkin. Digger Tyson Fury, how do? I don't know why Melanie's mentioning Jimmy Carson there, but I don't think Jimmy comes on live. We've got a lot of people watching, folks. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube if you can, and on Facebook if you wish. Just give us because it helps us. It helps us become visible via YouTube. If that makes any sense. Derek Woodridge. Hi everyone. Hope you're all lucky. I hope you've all had a decent day. I know the crops are coming off. The crops are coming off. Finally, harvest is well and truly started. Paul Calvert's in isolation. What a shame. Hope it ends soon, Paul. And we've got Rob Phillips on giving us. I think Rob Phillips is giving us a thumbs up. Oh, hang on a minute. And we've got DGR. Good evening from Dave Reed. With a lovely picture of a lurcher. One of my favourite dogs. We've got. I'm just going to go through some of these people. I don't want to be ignorant and miss out because I missed loads last time. Brian Wade, hi Graham and Mel. A lot of you people spell my name as in Graham, Graham, but it's actually the other way, folks. It's Grame, the Scottish way, and the best way. I have to say. Next Saturday for Paul is isolation, so it's a long time to wait. I hope it goes fast. Billy Vaughan's on. Give us a thumbs up, folks. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook and give us a thumbs up on YouTube. I've only got 3 thumbs up at the moment. Come on, get that YouTube. Those who are watching on YouTube, just press the thumbs up. Lots of cod. Melanie's laughing at me being a bit cheesy. Cod and a lot of pollock over this side. Not so many bass. No, there don't seem to be many bass over the East Coast, does there? Mind you, I think the Yorkshire, South Yorkshire, Lincolnshire coast are catching a few. Digger Tyson Fury is one of his best fields has been cut, which is good news. A cracking dig for you last week, Graham. Yeah, it was a good dig last Sunday, Darren. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect, actually, because it's a relatively new area that we've we've tapped into in Cumbria, but I didn't actually expect the finds of the quality and the nature. You know, Roman silver and bronze, and a bit of Viking came up, and a hoard of, well, when I say a hoard, a small purse loss of short cross pennies and numerous other bits and pieces, including Eddie pennies and later medieval pennies, maybe Richard and some of the Henrys, and also some interesting artifacts and some bullhead Georgian silvers. Cracking day. Howdy, everyone. Hope you're well. Wayne, how are you? We've got, now then, down in the ground is Nicola Roberts, Mel. Hi, Graham and Mel. Nicola Roberts here. Hi, Nicola. How are you? I hope you're well. Brian Wade, you go ahead, Brian. You spelled it right, mate. Where's he at? There you go. Look at that. Go ahead, Brian. What a legend. Good evening. My thumb is up. Well, I appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up, folks. I know there's plenty of you wonderful people out there that can do it. Just give us a thumbs up as you're watching, especially on YouTube. It helps YouTube see our channel a bit clearer, a bit better, so we get out to more folk. Christopher Kirk's on. You what, Mel? Yeah, we've got 15 people on YouTube, 6 people on Facebook. We've got 21 people linking in. Marion Wade. Good evening, Graham and Mel. Good evening to you, Marion. Hope you're well. And Suffolk Hunter's on. I hope it's warm down there and not too warm. Nicola is super chilled. I'm good, thank you. On the Hollybobs down in the south coast, so super chilled. I would be too. You enjoy it because the thing is, you know, winter's not, or autumn at least, isn't going to be too far away. We're into August tomorrow, so make the most of your fantastic time off, folks. We've got Digger Tyson Fury, Graham Brother in Hearns Bay. Caught lots of bass coming up, but seems to be more catches. Yeah, ragworm's a good bait. Digger's Den, it's a good bait to have. And Melanie is come up with Evening Marion. Right, folks, let's see if we can get onto this this live stream debate going on. It's all about the detectorists, of course, because that's what we're doing today. And I've still got lots of people coming in, which is interestingly good. Relics and Roots, hello to you, sir. Andrew Allen has come back in with, did 4.7 miles today. First time I've left my fit tracker thing switched on. You really don't realise how far you've walked out in a field. No, it's good for you. I went digging bait today, digging bait on a mark locally to me in the estuary. 3 of us, me and my 2 friends, and I did over 10,000 steps just getting in and out. So it all helps 2 hours. Just bear with me a sec, folks. Can anybody explain to me why Tinker's howling on the top of her voice?
She doesn't want you to be sat there. She wants to sit
you know, my life and Melanie's life is ruled by Tinker. Some of you who watch the YouTube channel and the Unearthed Films. Tinks, come on. Here, what's this? No. Put a cover over it, Mel. Put some over it. Anyway, sorry about that, folks. Tinker's decided. Well, she's decided to come, actually. Come here, babies. Come here. Can't call Tinker anymore. It's Princess. There she is, folks. Look at that. She's got a face like butter wouldn't melt. But believe me, she's anything but an angel. She's a devil in disguise. It's Tinks. So the reason why the reason why, folks, we want to do this live stream this evening, if Tinker actually lets me, is of course and she's only small, by the way. She's only, because she's pressing her face up to the screen. She's one of the tiniest terriers I can span her, and she's only probably about 12 inches to the shoulder, I think. But she's got a heart of a lion, as Tinks. She'd tackle a lion as well at times. So while we're doing this live stream, me and Tinks, we would like, if possible, to see some of you wonderful people that watch this YouTube channel come on with some stories for us. So if a lot of you people are subscribed to our the Metal Detectorist, the Detectorist magazine, I should say, the free online metal detector magazine aimed at detectorists purely, first and foremost. But we need, if possible, some really good look stories, or stories from the field, or stories on your favourite find coming through, because in about a month's time, we're going to be launching the August edition, which is going to be rather exciting. And there's some really nice stories already in the bag. But we do need more. We do need more stories from you people. So if you've got any stories on your favourite find, or your most recent finds, can you just move over there, Tinks? Your stories on your most recent finds, then whiz them over. You can see, you can't see our email address on there, can you? But if you drop me an email with your favourite story on, we'll publish it in the magazine. If you've got a picture of your favourite find, we'll publish that in the magazine. We're after true life detecting stories, not made up, not fabricated, not a load of old bollocks. We want stories from the detectorists.
Or if they go with their dog.
Melanie's wanting pictures of people's dogs in the magazine when they're out detecting. So if you've got any pictures of your dogs while out detecting, fire us them over to uneartheduk@gmail.com, and we will publish them in the magazine. We will publish them in the magazine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get down Tinks, because she's getting bored. Thank God for that. Right, that's better. Some news to share just before that. Good evening to you, Rob. Hope you're well, sir. Some news to share with you and Mel. Wife got called last minute back to hospital. Good news. She is cured of her cervical cancer, but always a big but found a growing lump on her lung. Oh dear. I hope everything's okay there, Suffolk Hunter. But we positive, but mental state is off the charts. I can imagine. And if it's a crumb of comfort, or if any words that I can say helps, then you stay strong, think positive, and I hope everything's okay. I'm sure it will be. And you're probably in good hands as well with the NHS, who are very good. So yeah, we're all sending you our love, Suffolk Hunter. I hope everything's okay, and I can imagine your worry. I can only imagine your worry. So yeah, it's a difficult. We all seem to be suffering from difficult times at the moment. It's just, the world's just a crazy place, isn't it? Oh, we've got the little legend in himself tonight with another one from East Anglia with Dale Sis11. We've got lots of people saying hi to Dale, because Dale's rather popular on his YouTube channel and as an individual in the detecting world, ever since he found his gold stater and his hoard of Saxon skeets. You're getting a lot of people saying hi to you, Dale, down in the ground as well. Andrew Allen has put little legend, emphasis on little. That's funny. And Suffolk Hunter's come back in with the NHS, God bless them. Yeah, no, they're a terrific organisation. A terrific organisation. And there's one there for you, Suffolk Hunter. Stay positive, mate, and look after her at Suffolk Hunter. Very nice from you, Darren. That's a nice quote. And we'll come back in with says I appreciate you all. So, folks, so if you've got any, let me just knock this off a minute. There you go. We're off. Give us a thumbs up, folks, on YouTube, so people get to know it's out there. It just helps generate on YouTube the analytics and things that go on behind the scenes on there. It just helps promote the channel a bit better. At the moment, we've got about 4, I think, on Facebook alone. Now, so some of you that are joining us a bit late, there's 1 or 2 coming through. We're after stories for the Detectorist magazine next month. Anything you've got, any recent finds that you've made would be nice. So, for example, Andrew Allen, who found that lovely seal today, we could do a story on that if he wishes. Get me over a little bit of blood. Doesn't have to be War and Peace. We just want detecting stories. We've got quite a lot in the bag. We've got a lot that have rolled over from earlier in the year that we have not had a chance to publish yet. But it's always nice to get stories from the ground, if you will. Live stories from good, proper detectorists. that's the reason why we do the magazine, because I feel there's a lot of rubbish out there currently that is either fabricated, copied, or pretty much, you know, old stuff that's been trolling around the internet and Facebook for a number of years. And we want, and obviously advertisements. It's just some of these magazines nowadays are cram-packed with advertisements. We want to be producing that Detectorist magazine for a long time, based on true events and based with the heart of with the Detectorist at heart, I should say. Where are we at now? So we've got sorry, I got to nip off to pick an Indian takeaway and wine up. I don't blame you. I do not blame you at all. So I went detecting last week and found a battered Lizzie Silver 2 weeks running. I don't blame you. Now then, Rob Quince, did you put me down? The list for the dig, we've got a problem with the digs, Rob, in so much as they're extremely popular, as you can imagine. So we have to balance the digs out to 40 people. We don't have any more than 40 people on the digs. So we've got a list. You're on the list. Just remind me, Rob, which detective do you use? I thought you bought an Equinox from us, or am I getting mixed up with a different Rob? Because I did scratch my head thinking you're one of the recent Equinox customers of ours. Anyway, I might be wrong, but there's a waiting list now, so we've had to get a reserve list for anybody that drops out on the main dig. We can then we can then notify people like yourself that there's going to be a place available. But all of a sudden, the unearthed digs are very, very popular because we do, me and Melanie and myself, we do a lot of research on the land, and we also do we put a lot of time and effort in behind the scenes, believe it or not. So if I tell you I have to sometimes take a day off work to travel around these farms just to meet the farmer landowner and test for green waste, that gives you some idea of how much effort we put in. Financially, it's not worth it, but we do it to say thanks to our customers. Now, I don't know how long it's going to work that way, but we put a lot of time and effort into our digs. Andrew Allen is back on with, I'll get a story together. I sent an epic tale to Mel the other day about an archaeology in my garden. Would that? Yes, it would. Absolutely, Andrew. Yes. It's already in the bag, sir. Sorry. I'm picking on you, Andrew, because I'm picking on you because you found a wonderful find today. So there you go. I have a story that I've been meaning to get over to you guys. I was talking to Jay Brown about it last week. To put it in, Chris, any good stories, detecting related, we need for the magazine. Absolutely. That's what keeps the magazine live, and people want to subscribe to it, and people enjoy reading it because we put a lot of work into that magazine. It costs us a lot of money to produce it, and we don't charge anybody. That's right, Rob, you did. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with a different Rob. I remember the Simplex user. So yeah, you're more than, you might have a bit of traveling to do, but you're more than welcome, Rob. More than welcome. It might be worth, Rob, ringing the office because I'm hoping, I'm just looking at the calendar now on the wall. There may be another dig coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks, crops and land availability. But we've just got to be careful. Just got to be careful that we don't promise people too much and can't deliver. How do you find your Simplex, Rob? People are asking you now, Rob, about your Simplex. One of my permissions, come on, Len. Future Beeps is up. And he says, what's up, my diggers? Hope you're all well and being lucky as I have been. Well, I'm glad you've been lucky. Hello to all in the chat. I love that emoji, your face, your profile picture, because is that not the robot from the 1970s, a Smash advert? Well, absolutely, Rob, yes. There's only one place to go for your detecting equipment, that's Unearthed. I could be biased, but why would anybody go anywhere else? Why would anybody buy detectors from anybody else other than Unearthed? Give me a clue. But I am biased, of course. One of my permissions been doing some arc. I think, Len. I think some of your text is missing, Len. I think. Anyway, Suffolk Hunter comes back in with the Love the Smash adverts. Boom, where we at? My fields are still full of rape and peace. I'm tempted to go on some of our permissions in the south this weekend for the first time since COVID, Dale, and we're going to ring the farmer up probably Monday, Tuesday to get a check on the availability for some of the pea fields. So I'm hoping South Yorkshire, some of the pea fields will be off so I can get on, because I'm itching to get out detecting. I've only been detecting in Anger once in May, and of course the COVID keeps on cutting us down for travel, so I've not really done a great deal. Rob Quince is saying he doesn't mind how far it is to travel. I think not worried about how far. I'll be there 100%. Simplex is pretty good. Might be changing soon. So, folks, let's think about getting some stories over to us. There's a lot of followers. We've got quite a lot of followers on a Saturday night, actually, because we weren't going to do a live stream up until about an hour or two ago. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to be able to do one tomorrow, so we'll put one up. And there's quite a lot of people watching. We've got not many people on Facebook watching, but we've got quite a few on YouTube. So you Facebook watchers, give us the thumbs up on Facebook. It gets added to the tally. I love pea fields, so productive, absolutely. The reason is because the vines are nice and short, they get killed off, they get sprayed, everything's nice and flat. And usually, even if it's hot, the pea vines that are dying on the surface keep the soil underneath nice and loose. So you can get a chance to find them lovely bits of hammered that are knocking about, and Roman bits if you're lucky. Sorry about my missing text. I was trying to say that one of my permissions have been doing some archaeology, and we found a possible Roman culvert. Excellent work. Excellent work, Len. I know you love your history and you love your detecting, Len. So I've got a sneaky feeling more bits and pieces are going to come your way this year, Len. Long may it continue. I've been detecting every day in a lovely Victorian primary school. Found 14 silver coins, 2 silver rings, a lovely silver football medal. First time I've ever dug a silver item every day. Madness. Well, there you go. Look at that. Fantastic. Well done. Keep up the good work, future bleeps, I should say. You never know what the future holds. Are we still doing a dig in Cheshire? No, nothing at the moment, Brian. No. Nothing at the moment, Cheshire-wise. No. All the digs at the moment, our Unearthed digs for customers and friends and followers of Unearthed, of course, are going to be Cumbria. There might be, and it is a might at the moment, one in West Yorkshire. But I can't give any more details than that yet. In the Pontefract area, not too far from there, we're working on a farm at the moment that may or may not allow us on to do a dig. So West Yorkshire could be a possibility. So keep your eye. Say that again, Mel.
I just said I like Yorkshire.
Yeah, well, we do. Yeah, we like all the northern areas and southern. Some beautiful places in the south and the north. The rape fields around Hicklington, Doncaster were still in today. They just started cropping the peas. A lot of the winter wheat is now out, though. I'm not sure about the rest of South Yorkshire, though. No, I think South Yorkshire, Andrew, down into Lincolnshire, they've already started taking the peas off. I mean, I remember, not that many moons ago, middle of June, about 5 or 6 years ago, I decided to go down into Lincolnshire, and we were detecting on some pea fields that had come off early. They'd ripened up really well. If I remember, I think the pea fields, take about 12 weeks. I'm sure the farmer told me 12 weeks for the peas to come off from start to finish, and they ripened up really nicely, and they came off mid-June. And we don't normally detect in June at all. And we had a real surprise because we started finding quite a few. I think I got a lovely Roman brooch and a clutch full of Roman bronzes. And we detecting partner Gaz got a similar amount of finds too. So it was a really good. Let's just have a look. I've got some Simon Hostel's come in with. I've got a story for you on a Roman seal box lid I found. Yeah, absolutely. Get it over to us, Simon. We'll get it in the. See, the thing is, it's nice to get your stories published in the magazine as well. It's your story. It's your finds. Get them in. So, Simon, anything like that would be fantastic. If we can't fill that magazine full of good luck stories and detecting related stories, then there's something sadly wrong. I'm off to a dig in Suffolk tomorrow. Can't wait. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you. There seems to be a lot of digging going on in the East Anglia area. Don't tell Dale because he can't get out in East Anglia yet because all his crops are in. No, I've not been out lately at all. I'm too busy running the digs and running Unearthed at the moment to do any of my own detecting. And of course, my crops are in still most of the farms. But next week or the week after, Darren, I'll be out and about. Saw some people struggling to get the hay in last week, so I gave them a hand. They wanted to pay me. They've got 10 acres smallholding, mainly pasture for their horses, so letting me dig it. There you go. Better than a payment, Rob. 10 acres is a nice lump as well. You can go at 10 acres nice and slow. You don't have to rush around too much. Liddy's on. Lovely to see you, Liddy. Hope you're well. Evening, Mel and G. There was a lot of people jumping in all at once there. Yeah, I hope you and Steve are fine, Liddy. Hope you're well. I've got to do a little scouting mission in the morning to see if any fields have been harvested in the last 2 days. If not, it's pasture again. Well, in East Anglia, pasture can produce just as much as Arabledale. But, of course, you live there and you know the score. Enjoy Suffolk Future Bleep. So much history. A beautiful place, Suffolk. Beautiful place. As is Norfolk. Pontefract, I guess I could visit my family there and really would love to join one of the Unearthed digs. Yeah, we're working on that farm. It's in a good area, but of course we've got to make sure. Here's the thing, right? You've got, I mean, brain is sort of all over the place at the moment because we've got a lot going on in and out of the detecting scene. Sorry about that. You know what? Bloody dogs and bloody cats. God. Like a bloody zoo in here. Pontefract is on the list of potential places we're going to do an Unearthed dig. But we've got to check for green waste because now is the problem. Of course, green waste, toxic green waste is becoming a problem. It's becoming a problem in so much as you can no longer run an organised dig or a rally. I'm not really bothered about what other people do in their rallies, in their rally game, but us at Unearthed, we can't put a dig on for people to enjoy a day's detecting without checking for green waste first. Years ago, you could probably say to the farmer, show me your land, give me a map. This is what we're about. We're all insured. We're all good people. You know, given the 50-50 agreement with any treasure fines and everything else, and you would never have had to check for green waste. Now, we've actually got to take detectors and detectorists with us before we visit a farm to check for the dreaded, horrendous, ridiculously bad toxic green waste. I did a post this week on the Unearthed group talking about green waste, and my problem is with green waste. We know, experts know, that it can't be good for the environment, it can't be good for human health, and it certainly can't be good for getting into our food chain. Aluminium and other nasties such as battery acid, glues from chipboard, and that sort of thing get in to the food chain because this stuff is mixing in with our crops. And yet the Environment Agency seem to be sitting on their hands. Now, it's got to be something to do with money. Money must be exchanged in hands somewhere. It's all hidden away. And because the eyes can't see it, then green waste and toxic green waste is being allowed to be spread on farmers' fields. Now, at some point, the shit's going to hit the fan. And somebody somewhere, like an MP, for example, or somebody with balls, is going to stand up and say, this is unacceptable. I know a farm fairly close to where we live that's got over 100 tons of toxic, as I call it, toxic green waste spread all over the fields. That 100 tons could be a conservative estimate. It could be as high as 150 to 200 tons. Now, detecting wise, it's impossible to detect. The bigger picture is it's getting into our food chain because they grow crops on the fields where this stuff is spread. When the fields are ploughed and the crops have come off, and the fields are ploughed, I should say, then in the early to mid-autumn sunshine, you can see these fields glinting with the metallic waste lying on the surface of the field. Now, you tell me that cannot be good, especially when we've got links with aluminium and Alzheimer's disease and dementia. some tests in France proved that high levels or should I say levels of aluminium in the food chain that gets into the human body increases your risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So we've got to wake up to the fact that we cannot allow green waste to continue to be spread. And of course, it's not just contained to the north, south, east, or west. It's now pretty much everywhere. So we've all got to do our bit. Some of the farmers don't even know it's on there. I can see a time coming, and don't beat me up about it, folks. Really, please don't beat me up about it. But I can see a time coming when us as detectorists are asked to clean some of these fields up. Because let's face it, how else would it be done? You can't literally scrape a foot or two of soil off a 40-acre field, for God's sake, because that would take a monumental effort to do so. I bet, I can see it in the future where the detectorists or the detectorists in clubs and organised rallies, organised digs are asked to clean the green waste off fields. Now, would you do it? I'll tell you what I would do. I would do a green waste rally if I could get away with it, and film the whole lot and have buckets all over the fields. And this is what needs to be done, by the way. Buckets all over the fields. A group of maybe 30 or 40 detectorists on a farm that's full of green waste, and somebody film it coming off for a full day. And you watch. If that goes onto YouTube or it goes onto the wider public, it'll go absolute viral. It will horrify. It'll horrify people like the Green Party and the Environment Agency and whoever else, Friends of the Earth or whoever. But at the moment, everybody seems to be sat on their hands and allowing it to happen. It's ridiculous. I can remember getting permission on a field locally to me, finding loads of aluminium scrap, bits of furniture from IKEA, and mixed in with batteries that were all mangled. Obviously, all the insides of the battery was obviously out. It had obviously leaked into the ground. And of course, hypodermic needles as well. Luckily, I wore gloves. And that was just a one-off 12, 13-acre field. The rest of the farm was the same. It's an absolute modern disgrace. It's legalized tipping. It's using the countryside as a tip because people don't kick off about it because they can't see it because it's under the ground. Us as detectorists, of course, do see it. You can see why I'm getting angry about it, folks, because it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. I think if we did a film on green waste, a green waste rally, it would be the biggest thing since the plastics in the ocean. I'm telling you now, nothing gets me more wound up than green waste. I can remember a really good fun. Stop being so dramatic, Mel and Tinker. You're like kids, honestly. Dear God. You are so dramatic, honestly, melodramatic. I honestly think, really do think that somebody needs to do it. The problem you've got, right, with green waste at the moment, the toxic green waste, is if you did a green waste rally, and the landowner said, yeah, I don't mind doing it, would the landowner get into trouble? That's what you're up against. You're caught between a rock and a hard place. Because some landowners actively know that green waste is being spread on their fields, of course. So you don't want to be working against the very people that give you permission to detect in the first place. So you really do need to do it correctly. But it's on my radar to do a green waste rally at some point. And I know for a fact we've got people in our organised dig group that would come along with me and do it. Absolutely do it. You imagine, I can remember not so long ago, a farm that we visited in the 1990s that produced some really nice, interesting finds. Arable farm, a semi-arable farm, arable in pasture. And I found some nice bits and pieces, including Roman silver coins and hammered coins and Roman artifacts. And so did my friends. And that farm now has several tons of metallic toxic green waste spread all over it. They've even spread it to get rid of it on pasture, and then they've drove over it with the machinery to just bed it onto the surface. and then the grass has grown, and then over time it sinks down, and then they've grazed sheep, cattle on there, which can't be good for the animal. So you tell me, never mind about having a drink, you tell me where the future of this country is going when we have people, contractors, spreading hundreds of tons of metallic waste on prime farmland. It's an absolute disgrace. And of course, without sticking my neck on the block too much, Carlisle, the city, the grand city of Carlisle, no less, on the English-Scottish border, seems to be a hotbed at the moment of contractors spreading or tipping the horrendous green waste. Now, some people are going to say, well, detectorists are going to moan about it because they can't detect on the land once it's on. Ha, ha, ha. You've got to think about it. The detecting is only a small part of it. The bigger picture is the health of the people. If this stuff gets into the food chain, which inevitably it will do, that cannot be good. And then it adds to the argument against everything being poisoned and toxic anyway. So there you go. No wonder we get poorly as people. And treasure hunter is unbelievable. No wonder we have all sorts of autoimmune diseases, cancers, etc. It all gets into our bodies. There you go. Exactly what I've just said. I'm missing a few here, folks. But you can see why it really pees me off that people still allow it to happen. A few years ago, I went on a dig near York. There's this Chris Kirk. I was excited and had high hopes. Travelled 2.5 hours Sunday morning with high expectations. The fields were ridden with green waste. And Dave comes in, definitely up for any cleanup of green waste. Got to think of the future. I've lost permissions, so be it. Absolutely. Let's name it Archie Waste. But we've got it. I'm just trying to think if I've got any more. Let me just see. No, I haven't at the moment. But you can see the problem, folks. If I can see the problem, just a man trying to make his way in life, whatever you want to say, good or bad. If I can see it and I'm worried about it, and everybody else should be worried about it. The problem you've got is there's too many people in this hobby at the moment. Too many people in this hobby just sitting on their hands saying, well, you know what? My farm hasn't got it on, so I'm not bothered. Guess what? It's coming to a farm near you soon, because we've said for a number of years that some of our big landowners in this country that we've got lucky enough to get permission off have now had it creeping in for the first time. For the first season, it's been spread off. We've tried our best to rid the surface of it, and Doug pretty much ignored and wrote off the whole day detecting just to clean up the green waste. We never got it all, of course, because there's too much of it, but we got bucketfuls of it. And at the end of the day, I'm knackered, Gazzy's knackered, and I've got a 4-hour journey back home, but we got rid of it. So watch this space. That's on my agenda. And of course, people that are watching this, that possibly run organised digs, or maybe watch it after this live stream has gone out, you can guarantee Unearthed usually are always leading the way, but you can guarantee somebody will pick up on it and run their own green waste rally at some point. Well, guess what? Good luck to them. I'll support it 100%. But we all need to get behind the green waste problem, because it's the biggest killer to the hobby, and it's also the biggest threat to our health in a long time. Simon Austell backs me up, which is good news. I was at a dig at Carlisle a few years ago, and the land was covered in green waste. Well, every year for a number of years, the Rotary Club have held rallies at a place called Brampton. I remember going to one in the 90s, so that's how long it's been going on for. And there was reports that the last couple were just absolutely covered in this horrible green waste, so much so that people couldn't detect, turned the detectors off, packed up the bags and went home within an hour or two of detecting. If they had continued to detect, they would have filled dozens and dozens of plastic buckets up to the top of this horrendous aluminium scrap. Don't let it happen. Get onto your MP. Get onto the Environment Agency. The Environment Agency actually are bloody hopeless. The Environment Agency are too busy. I can't see it. I can't see it, folks. If I was a normal person, but they get behind everything else that's going on out there, LBGT, whatever it's called, they get on, but they do. and they're not interested in the real strong campaigns out there to fight against environmental disasters in this country. There's a river here locally to me that spews raw sewage into it every now and then. Still haven't fixed it after 10 years. So where we at? Mudslinger. Take all the crap off the field anyway, but you're right. Everybody should do, but you try taking 80 ton of crap off the field anyway. It's impossible. It's a bad way. It's bad my way. They empty all the septic waste straight on the land, untreated, so it must get in the drainage system. Oh yeah, it's just madness, isn't it? Just, the problem is we've got a lot of people watching actually, folks. So keep giving us the likes. Use the Facebook lot, bang the like over if you can. YouTubers, give us a like. If we notice it, right? Where we at? If we notice it as detectorists, then why aren't the experts noticing it? Any answers? If we're normal folk, we're working class people. We're not experts. We're not scientists. We haven't got degrees coming out of our ears, left, right, and centre. Well, I certainly haven't. So why is it that we notice these things, yet the experts and the people in power and the people that are actually got the power to do something sit on their hands? It's just absolutely ridiculous. I've actually sat and talked to the Environment Agency, the Green Party, the Friends of the Earth, and none of them were interested. None of them were interested. Talked to newspapers. I've talked to lots and lots of different organisations about the threat of green waste. Not interested. I've talked to farmers about it, and some of them are getting paid for it going on. So it's a complete waste of space in that respect. What do we do? How do we stop green waste or toxic green waste from being spread onto farms? It's ridiculous. If the farmers are that desperate for money, some of the farmers are that desperate for money for it to be spread on, get an unearthed dig on your land and you'll get a few quid off the back of that. It's wrong. It's wrong. It shouldn't happen, but it happens. And it's just another example of this planet being screwed over by humans. So there you go, folks. That's my rant over. Love my rants, hate my rants. It's absolutely 100% right what I'm saying. Rob Quince comes in. Money, absolutely. Money actually it rules everything, doesn't it? Can you get me a drink of water, Mel, instead of trying to nod off in front of the telly, love? Thanks, mate. Simon, you know which one I meant. Yeah, it's that Rotary Club rally, which it's not their fault, of course, because it's not their land. But they should have done the tests. What? No, I don't want sparkling, love. They should have done tests, Simon. They should have done tests before they let hundreds of people go on the fields. Ruined the day for lots of people travelling from Scotland and England. Just let me show you this, folks, by the way. Right. We bought some water from Tesco's, yeah? And it came in these bottles. Now, is it me? Or does that look damn like a bloody shampoo bottle? Does that look like a shampoo bottle to you? Or bubble bath? I think this water company, Aqua Carpetisa. Carpatis. I can't even read that. Carpetisha or something. Anyway, there you go. That's it. Would you say that they've run out of bottles for water and then they've got in touch with the shampoo company and they've said, by the way, we've got thousands of these plastic bottles empty. We're going to put your water in it, or we buy them off you? Because
they substituted it.
They've substituted it, haven't they? God, it tastes like conditioner, Melanie. No, not quite. We've got where we at? I'm trying my best, folks, to get these comments going on, because I've been having a bit of a rant. I have a big field of green waste, G, over it quickly for about an hour. It takes a lot of time. I get out mainly ripped up cans. It was like that when I was a kid, different landowner. Now I just plod on as much as I can. Yeah, it's hard work. It's hard, Billy. It's hard work. It's a fight, Grey, mate. You have the passion and knowledge to take it on. It's a financial problem and they aren't easily solved. Well done, mate. I'm behind you 100%. Absolutely. No, we just need to get on it, don't we? I can't believe I'm the only one or a handful of people out there that's ranting about green waste. Tony Brown, bit late. Hi all. hi to you. Where we at? We've got, it tastes like bubble bath. Do you know what? I've got that many comments coming through. Honestly, look at it. I just think this water company have thought, how do we get that? Can we save some money? And we'll get in touch with this shampoo company, bubble bath company. Apparently they've got millions of plastic empty bottles that we can have. We'll stick our tap water in it. It's not even nice to drink out of it because the mouth of it's massive. Look at that. And by the way, it might not be tap water. They're saying actually that it's natural mineral water and suitable for a low sodium diet. And it'll get recycled, just like everything else gets recycled in this house. Recycle Rush. Our local river is full of sewage. Yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it? The more people that come on this bloody earth, the more problems. The more problems exist, unfortunately, folks. Where we are, does it taste like bubble bath? It does. It does. Peckham Spring. End up in the field soon. Does it glow? Do you know what? It probably does. If it came from Sellafield, it might. Oh, can't even say that. I've just got to be careful what I say live on air. It's only a joke, folks. Disclaimer. But equally, let's just, in all seriousness, get behind each other and back it. Back the detectorists up to the hilt here and work as a united front. In so much as we need to stop this green waste stuff happening. The MPs in this country are absolutely useless. I think one MP took it up with the detectorists once because I did a campaign on YouTube last year about green waste, or it might have been 2019 before COVID hit. And one detectorist stood above all and actually had it out with his MP. And I think his MP took it to the House of Commons and actually stood up and talked about it. It's not the fact that we need that to happen necessarily because that process can take a long time. It's a bloody Environment Agency, for God's sake. We all need to be ringing the hotline. The Environment Agency have got a hotline for green waste, apparently. I haven't got the number on hand, folks, because the rant came into my head halfway through this live stream. So I might try, if we do a live stream next week, I may try to get the number for people to ring and report it. But of course, they'll always hide behind. The Environment Agency are very good at hiding behind statistics and levels and, if there's a small percentage going in 0. whatever it might be, we allow that to go through. None of it should be going through. Am I right? We need to tackle green waste, folks, before it's too late. Aluminium cannot be a good thing to be mixed in with the food in the arable crops and the rest of it. Battery acids, glues, MDF stuff, you name it. This stuff cannot be good for the human being. MPs should be looking to line their own pockets. MPs only looking to line their own pockets. They milk it as much as they can. Every party guilty, fact of life, absolutely. From Labour to the Conservatives to the Lib Dems, they're all pretty much useless. I wouldn't even trust the Green Party because some of their policies are not for the Earth, they're for probably Pluto or Mars. So we're up against it straight away because the very people that we have in power are pretty much useless. But I want to see next time on a live stream, I want to see at least 2 or 3 used detectorists on here coming back to me, hopefully, and saying, you know what, I've reported this, and this. That'd be fantastic if you could. Get onto your MPs, get onto people that actually can do a job. Community people, I don't know who it might be, but we need to get onto it quick. Maybe we should all bag it up and dump it outside the headquarters of the environment waste. Absolutely. I've got it. I've got a bag of green waste in my warehouse, and I occasionally bring it out to show people what's on farmers' fields, and they can't believe it. And that's only a very, very tiny percentage of what was on the fields that particular day. We literally could have filled carrier bags. Literally could have filled carrier bag after carrier bag after carrier bag of it. But you imagine the digging that you're going to do in a day. And of course, I'm not as young as I once was. I'm not as strong as I once was. I'm over 50 now. So I can't be digging thousands of holes like I could have when I was in my 20s or 30s. So it's up to you young men and ladies to fight the fight and get it out of the ground and show people what's coming out of the ground. Dave comes in with what sort of money per tonne do the farmers get paid for green waste? And the idea is I don't know. I did hear one not so long ago, it was 100 quid a tonne. But that could be miles out now. It could literally be miles out. Next plough, I will take a picture to show you green waste on fields near me. I could pick up 50 bits on the top of a square metre. There you go. There you go. Take a picture of it. We need people to come forward to show the problems with green waste. Good evening, all. Bizro. How are you, sir? Great to see you. We're talking about the massive threat at the moment of green waste in the hobby of detecting, which is an absolute disgrace. And it ain't getting any. Do you know what, as well, with green waste? Here's the thing about it that I found. This is how sneaky it is. You've got to remember Cumbria, a massive county that Cumbria is. It can be one of the most remote places in the country. You know, miles and miles and miles of hills, mountains, upland slopes, massive pasture fields, meadows, really remote. Some places get cut off from the weather in Cumbria still. Even in this day and age, parts of Cumbria get cut off in winter. So it's pretty much a desolate place in certain times of the year. However, some of these desolate, cut off, hard to reach, remote places in Cumbria have green waste spread on the fields. Now, if that's not a problem, I don't know what is. If that's not a problem, folks, I don't know what is. And I'm going to start. The problem is I haven't got a lot of time. You know, we're running Unearthed as a business. It's extremely busy. We're running the digs, which is extremely busy. We're sheep farming, which is extremely difficult. I start the filming soon with ITV, which is going to be difficult. You know, the book's getting launched at the end of next month or into September. But I'm going to see if I can find a little bit of time to actually start talking again to the Environment Agency and our local MP. So all you people on here have all got a local MP. Get onto them. There's nothing stopping you doing it. Nothing stopping you taking up the mantle for your particular area, Lincolnshire, Yorkshire, Suffolk, wherever it might be, and saying this is actually unacceptable and going one stage further and getting some of this green waste out of the... Here's another one. Use the media. So I've got links to our local Evening Mail. You could bring it up there. You could actually talk to the Mail, talk to somebody, show the pictures of this green waste coming up. The problem we've got is we don't want to tarnish the good name of the detectorist to be seen getting landowners in trouble. And this is the problem. So if anybody can come up with a solution to that, let me know, because that's going to be the biggest problem we've got, is we can't be seen to be working against the very people that are giving us permission to get on the land in the first place. It's plain wrong. Where we at? It gets me when farmers take money knowing it's green waste and still happy to promote. Please dig here. Pew agreed. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's so wrong. It's so wrong on so many levels that I can't begin to say how much it vexes me greatly to see this stuff going on. I remember a particular place that I was detecting on in Lincolnshire, which was quite a remote area of Lincolnshire actually, but it had quite a lot of history on the farm, and 2 or 3 of the fields already had the toxic green waste spread on the fields, which we flagged up to the landowner, and he said, "Do you know what? Is it coming in with the compost and the fertilizers?" And we said, "Yeah, it is." And then in horror, we looked round at the farm's gates, and there was a JCB with a big bucket on the front of it, with a load of it in the bucket ready to be spread on the fields. I waved my detector over it once it was dropped on the hard standing at the gate, at the field gate, and it was literally going absolutely mental. And we were hand picking big chunks of aluminium off the surface of the compost. A day later or a week later, all that ended up being spread over a very productive field that produced many coins and artifacts from the Roman period upwards. Gone, completely gone. That field's gone now. nobody can detect on it. When we asked the question where it came from, he didn't know. So, you know, it's extremely difficult to get to the bottom of the problem. And the problem lies with money. Everything ends up being back with money. Somebody's getting paid somewhere to dump this stuff on. There you go. But there is a glimmer of hope, folks. There is a glimmer of hope. There is, if you check on YouTube, on our last video when we did the organised dig, if you look down the comments, you'll see a gentleman there talking about green waste and putting a link up to a contractor, no less, that had been heavily fined here in the northwest of England for spreading the toxic green waste onto farmers' fields. And he got fined rather large amounts of money. Now that needs to happen more often. These contractors need hitting where it hurts. If you're finding these contractors potentially hundreds of thousands of pounds in fines, then they're going to think twice about spreading this horrendous stuff onto the farmers' fields. It's screened. It needs to be screened properly. The machinery that goes through the recycling plant needs some sort of, I don't know, does it need some sort of screening, some sort of magnet, magnetized belts where the metallic waste sticks to the magnets? I don't know what the answer is, but it needs to stop coming out of these recycling plants and ending up on farmers' fields. It's difficult. It's difficult because, as this comment here shows, and asks the question, am I right in thinking green waste is or should be organic waste? It's just contaminated with aluminium, etc. I understand what you mean when you see green waste. I'd rather call it toxic waste, or aluminium waste, or metallic waste. Metallic waste was one of the metallic waste was actually one of the names we called it many moons ago, around about a decade ago, when it first came out. Metallic waste seemed to be the one word statement, I guess, if that's the right word I'm looking for, statement that stuck. However, green waste soon became apparent when people named it green waste for obvious reasons. Here's another one. The NCMD, I think, invited somebody on. The NCMD invited somebody from a university a few years back that came to talk about green waste. And I don't think it went down too well, for whatever reason. I don't think the NCMD at the time, or the people certainly in the crowd, or the audience that this gentleman came along to talk about green waste, seemed to take any notice at all. So there you go. There, we're up against the problem in a lot of areas. I don't care if people think I'm causing an issue here with anybody. I don't like hundreds and thousands of tons of green waste being spread on farmers' fields from East Anglia to Carlisle into Scotland and beyond. It's wrong. It needs to be stopped, and it needs to be stopped now. So get onto your MPs, folks. Get onto your MPs. Even get onto the Environment Agency, because for God's sake, they're the people, right? They're the very people that can actually stop this stuff going on. They don't know how much is going on. They don't know how much is going on. They think it's just a tiny amount knocking around in the arable fields of West Yorkshire. But in reality, as I said, it's hundreds of tons. Like I said, the farm here had 80 tons spread on it. That was a few years ago. That could be treble that amount now. Liddy comes back with a really good comment here, actually. They seem to be able to remove the copper, though. Bit sus. Good money in copper. Absolutely. You don't see the copper, the waste copper, Liddy. It's a very, very, very valid point that you make. And we've got a new member joining us with the one and only, actually. Let me just see if I can get him up. We've got him up. As we get more and more people coming on to watch, we've got Dig It With Will. I've got him up and I lost him again. Dig It With Will. Hey, all. Hi, Will. Hope you're well. And everything's okay with you. I'm going to get some and measure it for contaminants. Do it. Absolutely do it. Listen, there's no more powerful movement than the people's movement when they get mobilized. The problem is there's too many people sitting on their hands saying, it's never going to happen to me because my farms haven't got green waste on. Well, guess what? It will eventually get it on. And it'll kill the hobby automatically overnight. There'll be that much of the crap. And, you know, do we really want to be eating food with toxic chemicals being put all over our... We don't want it. We may as well go out there and drink raw sewage, for God's sake. It's not just... Lydia's come back with, it's not just the alloy, not the lead and copper. Here's another one from, let's have a look at it coming up. Just a little bit slow, folks. We're coming on to the, as more and more people join us, it's just getting a little bit slow. Marion Wade, can someone create a petition that asks for change to the law or the government policy after 10,000 signatures? Do you know what, Marion? I tried it last year and it got kicked out. So I put a petition out, a parliamentary petition, asking for people to sign. I don't know if any of you can remember. Lydia, you'll remember me doing it, and others. And it was rejected. It was rejected because I put too much information in it. I mean, unbelievable, isn't it? So I did it all. I did all the work. I tried to do it in the correct manner with the rules that are situated for these petitions to the government. And I put too much information in and they rejected it. I was like, after all that work, and somebody else did it, and I don't know how they got on, but they didn't get anywhere near the amount of petitions. So we do need to be doing something. We do need to be going back and addressing the situation with green waste. And I'm going to keep banging on about it until somebody at some point comes back and says, guess what? I got a result. There's results out there, of course, but not nearly enough. And you know what? These big fat contractors, right? You know, the scrap metal contractors and the people like that are pretty much rum anyway, or a lot of them can be in these cities. They're probably thinking, this is great, this, because I'm getting rid of all this crap onto that farmer's fields for very little. And guess what? I'm moving it on the problem onto somebody else, and now it isn't my problem. And it's wrong. Boom, boom, boom. Where we at? Boom, boom, boom. Too many backhanders. 2 farms with green waste. Never any copper on it. They need a massive metal detector to detect the green waste before it leaves the depot. They do. Of course they do. They just need... I'm just reading some of the comments. Too many backhanders. Tell them you saw a neuter water vole in the field. The Environment Agency would be onto it like a rash. Well, yeah, you know, the Environment Agency within themselves have probably had some really good individuals working for them over the years. But sadly, they seem to be sort of picking the low-hanging fruit. So dealing with the easy stuff, and when it's, you know, when it gets a little bit prickly or it gets a little bit hot under the collar, like the green waste situation or the metallic waste, shall we say, if we can change the name to metallic waste, that would be even better. Because it's nothing, but it's green. It shouldn't even be worded green. You know, when it gets a bit hot under the collar, folks, the Environment Agency are nowhere to be seen. They're nowhere to be seen. They're a hopeless bunch of useless individuals. And I don't like them. I've gone off the Environment Agency. And they're even pumping raw sewage, apparently, into Lake Windermere here. And the Environment Agency know about it and doing naff all about it. Dig It With Will coming back on. I think that's the issue with the field I was on today. I think it's had green waste on it. And the only way you can deal with that, Will, is pretty much do what you were doing today and getting it out of the ground. Any amount out of the ground has got to be better than leaving it in there for obvious reasons. That gets into the food chain. We're all pretty much stuffed. And as I spoke about before, when there was less people on, you know, we talked about getting in the food chain, the links with Alzheimer's and dementia with aluminium. It's too much of a risk for people, folks. It's too much of a risk. I mean, they're already, right? They're already, you've got me on it. You've got me on an issue here. They're already doing tests on fish in the seas and in the rivers, and the amount of drugs that has been flushed down toilets and different places over the years and discarded in the seas and everything. Well, fish have got levels of drugs such as cocaine and other substances, shall we say, in their bloodstreams. Now, if that's the case, you can bet your bottom dollar at some point we'll have levels of, me, you, and your wives and your children, we would pretty much have levels of the metallic toxic green waste from arable crops in our bodies. There you go. guaranteed. Will it stop the hobby? Absolutely will stop the hobby. I know people that actually have left detecting because of green waste. They go, sold up the detector and, left what is probably the best hobby in the planet and left the hobby because their permissions have got green waste and they can no longer pick up any new permissions to detect on. I think I think Will's come back with, I think I remember size that actually. Where we at? I'm just trying to get some of these. Where we at? It's coming through, folks. I eat this going to find out new crops should not be allowed on green wasteland. No, absolutely not. We can prove. There's only the detectorists that can prove it, by the way, because none of these organisations, the contractors, the Environment Agency, or the farmers, in so much as have got any equipment able to be able to locate it. So we can be the ones that can, show them where the green waste is. But I'm telling you now, I'm telling you absolutely 100%. But where we at? I can tell you now 100% we'll be doing a green waste rally. So if anybody wants to join us on a green waste rally, we'd have to do it correctly. We can't have the landowners getting into trouble. But what we can do is expose the problem of green waste on farmland. Right, I've had a massive rant, haven't I, folks? Melanie said yes, or shut up. She's told me all the water companies are owned by foreign companies. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Don't start me. I'm going to have to start a human movement for the revolution of something, and power to the people or something, because it's getting me back up.
What, we were doomsday prepping?
Oh, we're doomsday prepping. There you go, Melanie said. Seeing something on the news regarding the gold Mancus gold coin, 200 grand, not about the money. Graham just highlights how special it is. Yeah, no, a friend of ours found it. Just on the Mancus, right? Just on the Mancus situation, I'm glad you've asked about it, actually. The scientific papers will be released soon on the gold Mancus, which nails home its authenticity. So it's a real deal. There's one or two people calling it fake still. The only thing I can say to these people that are calling it fake is, I didn't find the coin. A friend of mine found it. He wanted me to share the good news, so we did, of course, and other magazines as well ran with the story, especially the national newspapers, and the scientific papers on the gold Mancus will be released soon for all people to see, which then seals its or states it's the real deal, of course. We've got loads of stuff coming through, actually. Loads of stuff. Mancus, yeah, gold Mancus, we've got that. Can plough them up all day long. The people that still think it's fake must be flat earthers. Do you know what? I'm not going to get into the debate with these people that think the gold Mancus is fake. Now the thing is, here's the thing with the gold Mancus. Tim found it with his detector. I wasn't there when he found it. He rang me up and said, I found what I think is a gold Saxon coin. Can you confirm it? I've never seen anything like it before. So I showed it to a coin expert. He said, wow, this looks like the real deal. A King Egbert gold Mancus. And then, he recorded it with the Fines Liaison Officer, had coin experts validate it. And of course, coin experts then looked at it in depth, as did museums, professors, doctors, or whatever we want to call them. And they had it for over 12 months. The scientific papers are going to be released soon to nail down its, confirm, validate its the real deal. These people that come out and say it's fake have got the reasons behind it, I'm sure, and I don't know what that is, whether it's down to things like jealousy, competition. They don't want it to be sold at auction. They want, I don't know. There's probably a whole host of different reasons why people are calling it fake. However, here's the thing. I would much rather and be much more comfortable believing the experts in the museums and the people that are experts on Saxon coins, of course, the world-renowned experts on Saxon coins that write books on Saxon coins, rather than people hiding behind a keyboard on Facebook. So there you go. There you go, folks. Something very special, say, for the future. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a rather interesting find. And you know what? You know, good luck to the people, or sorry, good luck to the individual that found the coin. It's a rather special piece. With it being unique, of course, it's even better. Now then, folks, just let me show you this. We've got some of these. We've been asked a lot for the unearthed coin and artifacts display, the kings and queens ones. And I have to say, we've finally got the new ones in, which give you more detail than ever before on the kings and queens. It's a coin scale, so you put your coin, here, you put your coin or artifact here for scale. And you've also got the kings and queens there with the dates on. These are the new ones. You can find them on the Unearth website, very strong. And I think they're rather smart. So there you go, folks. They're actually back in stock. Don't know if you can see that very well, or if there's a bit of a glare. But these are new and improved ones. We can actually see for the first time the kings and queens and the dates of the kings and queens much better than the ones earlier. A friend of mine did them for me, which was very kind of him. We've got for all mankind, gender neutral and non-binary, just covering all people to be politically correct. Well, yeah, we live in the world of political correctness. Gone are the days where we could all speak our minds and say things that wouldn't offend, but we were both comfortable, or all of us were comfortable in saying it without triggering off something else. Very nice, Graham. No, they are good. They are good. They are good Suffolk Hunter. I mean, it's a thought of ours earlier in the year to produce these for people so you can photograph your finds and also have your kings and queens on. There you go. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I thought I'd just show people that a bit of a Saturday night plug for some of our new accessories that are coming in, and why not? I remember doing that once ages ago when we had some new products in on YouTube, and some guy said, "This is like a shopping channel." I said, "Well, you're on the Unearthed channel. That's why. We're a business, for God's sake." It's just crazy. So we've got Neil Irwin. Neil, how are you? TV producers love controversy. Mention it when you're filming, and that you're going to do a green waste dig, and they'll send them a video. They may be interested. They may well be, sir. Yes. We've just got to do it, Neil, in the right way, that we don't get the landowners into trouble. That's the biggest problem. That's why people haven't done it yet. You know, we need to find a genuine farmer that is angry about it being on there, and then we go on with our detectors and unearth it. That's the key. That's the key, folks. I don't think I've got any farmers at the moment that have got it on that would be happy for us to go on and film, by the way. That's a problem in itself. There you go. It's my favourite phrase for some time, and I often try to mimic it with your Yorkshire accent, Graham, and apparently it sounds really funny mixed with my Polish accent. Well, here goes, treasure huntress. My Yorkshire accent. My accent. Here's the thing. My accent is actually Cumbrian, and a lot of people think if I go down south, people think I'm Lancashire, Yorkshire. Some people pick up on me being Cumbrian, but a lot of people think I'm Geordie. I've had people thinking I'm Geordie when I've gone on holiday in places or down south. They've said, "Are you from Newcastle?" I said, "No, I'm not from Newcastle. I'm from Cumbria." So there you go. It's my favourite face for some time. I have to try to mimic it. Well, here's the thing about getting the proverbial taken out, extracting the urine, as we say here. I don't know if you've watched my videos, but I've had a lot of stick. I've had a lot of Mickey taking, or pee taking, I should say, out of me for saying these words. Are you ready? Belly's laughing. Keep watching, folks. On to the next. What's the other one? Keep watching, folks. On to the next. There's more coming up. Right, I say that, and I've said it for years, last 5-10 years on my YouTube videos. But now it seems there's a growing number of people taking the mickey out of me, saying last week's organised dig with Unearthed, I had people over my shoulder saying, on to the next, keep watching, it's coming up, folks, and all these kind of slogans. So I'm actually in the process of making some T-shirts and some stickers with keep watching, folks, on to the next, and whatever else, all the other slogans that I make, apparently, that tickle people. And I'm going to throw it back in their face. There's even a guy in the Northwest who's quite popular, who goes on organised digs in the Lancashire area, that actually has videoed himself pretending to be me and saying all these one-liners that I come out with on my YouTube channel. And you know what? I think it's great, and I'm glad that I bring a smile to people's face. I say it is. I'm from that generation. Absolutely, Rob. Absolutely. Oscar says he's going to find the next gold man, because I hope he does. Do you have to say who the farmer is? Well, you do. The problem is, Rob, you don't have to say who the farmer is, but the farmer at the start might not want you to do it. He might have been paid for it to go on there. That's the problem. It's finding the farmer. It's finding the landowner that would let you do it. That's the problem. Graham and Mel, you're all great people. I have tasks to perform in the house. Best wishes and stay happy hunting. Good to see you again, Suffolk Hunter. Good luck on your dig tomorrow. This is funny. I thought you were Cockney. I can't do it. Here's the thing. I can't do accents. What do Cockneys say? All right, bro. Bruv. All right, bruv. All right, bruv. I can't do it. Yes, my bad. I've just realised it. Yeah, Cumbrian's got its own special twang. Accent, and of course the further west you go and the further north you go, the accents pretty much change within 5 to 10 miles of each village, each town. So we've got, like, the west coast of Cumbria speak different to me. The east side of Cumbria speak different to me, and the Carlilians, of course, they also speak different to me. So we've got where we at? Oh, here we go. I could tell you a good story, but on a break at work at the moment. Orange whole grain, but I can tell anyone on the next dig. You're more than welcome to tell people, Don. Hope you're well. I do hope you're well. I do hope you're well. But yes, so the Mickey taking is continuing, folks. And you know what? I love it. But you know, these are not captions and words that I make up. They're just purely words that come out of my mouth when I'm doing a video. On to the next. Keep watching, folks. More coming up. I just say it. But now they've took it to the next level, of course, and my own dig group, the people that I handpicked to be on our organised digs for a day's detecting, are now turning on me and taking the mickey out of me. So lucky I've got thick skin. I thought it was Cockney is a good one. I'm definitely not Geordie. Mrs., are you getting in this bloody bath or what? Have to go, people's soz. Ciao for now. Yeah, pretty much that. Chris Kirk says, I'm definitely not Geordie. And listen to them yellow bellies near me. All say, I'll eat mate. Or eat mate. You know, I don't think, I mean, this is just me. But I think some of the accents in this country are fantastic. I really do. I mean, I just think we live in a very interesting country where all these accents mix in very nicely. I'm not keen on the Brummie accents a bit. I can't do that one. I'm not a lover of the Brummie accent, actually. I find it difficult to get my ears around it, if that makes sense. But without folks, without upsetting anybody, of course. History Unearthed, we've got, you should sell Unearthed merchandise with them. Well, we're thinking of it. Yeah, just to throw it back down their throats, of course. And don't worry, I'm onto it. The part of Norfolk I'm from, 5 miles up the road, I can hardly understand them. That it's that broad Norfolk. Yeah, Norfolk's a very interesting place for its slogans, isn't it? For its accent, I should say. Just bear with me, folks, while I drink a little bit of my shampoo. Look at that shampoo. Who'd have believed live on YouTube I'd have been drinking shampoo, bubble bath, Radox. You know what I mean? Gene Simpson, watching your videos with subtitles can be quite funny. I can imagine. I can imagine, Gene. I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do, but you know, it's good. Somebody's Gareth has come up with one. You Lincolnshire Bizro, Gareth Howard, no less. We're dropping in numbers slightly, folks. Give us a thumbs up and a like on Facebook and YouTube if you can. Just to recap for the people that are new watching tonight that weren't on earlier, magazine articles, folks. We want some really good luck stories from you about your dedicated sessions out in the field where you've made some really good finds, or your favourite find, or a most recent find, of course. It doesn't have to be dripping with gold and silver. It can be one find from a field that really stands out. It can be a good luck story, a funny story. Either way, let us know. We can publish it in the next edition of the Tetris magazine. And I'm more than happy to do that. We need some really good stories coming through, folks, for the magazine. I know you all enjoy it. Losing all our dialects in 50 years, everyone will sound the same. Shame, love guessing where people are from. Yeah, I've read that. I was watching the GB News earlier in the week. I turned that new news channel on, GB News, and as I turned it on, they were talking about southern accents taking over the north, and places from like Hull and upwards are going to be in Yorkshire, in fact, are going to be losing a lot of their... Pardon? You can't see what? No, I can't see it happening either. I'd like to think it won't, you know. We've got, Skegness and Grimsby, of all places. Wonderful Grimsby. Skegness, do they not call it Skeg Vegas? I'm sure one of our farmers I've got permission on down there calls Skegness Skeg Vegas. And I don't know why. Let me know, Bizro, why they call it that. I'm sure you'll put an interesting comment up. So yeah, and of course the main rant of the evening has been, as it always is been, and there's going to be many more rants in the near future, of course, was the metallic waste problem, or the ever-growing metallic waste problem. And here's the thing about metallic waste. It's even ending up on the beaches, folks. Big blobs of aluminium for miles and miles around is ending up on the beaches in the northwest. Where's it from? It's not from burnt-out barbecues, folks. It's definitely not from burnt-out barbecues. Who is spreading it? Where's it from? We need answers. So we need to get on to somebody somewhere that's going to act on our behalf. Are the NCMD going to help us out? Who knows? I'd like to think the NCMD would help us out in our fight against green waste, because after all, they are our body, recognised body. Let's see if we can get somebody active within certain organisations to fight the fight, because at the end of the day, none of us would be in the positions we're in now, detecting wise, because green waste will completely ruin it. All right, from Grimsby, call us Shizits. Hi, yes, well done, Graham. They do. Yes, Skeg Vegas. I thought they did. Skeg Vegas, of all places. Yes, they've probably started dumping in the sea now too. Do you know what? They probably have. You can't rule anything out where humans and waste are concerned. I mean, I seen a video of a foreign land. It might have been out in India once, where they were dumping lorry loads of pretty much raw tip waste. You know, all the plastic bags and the household wastes were going in. Many tons of it actually, and they were just reversing it to the side of the cliff, the sea cliff, and just putting the tipper up, and everything was just going in. So Skeg Vegas, yes, hate the term. Must be all the slot machines here, mostly used by the young ones. Yeah, no, it's interesting that the farmer, we've got a farm near Skegness. Christ, I was going to call it Skeg Vegas then. Skegness, and he calls it Skeg Vegas, but he always goes for fish and chips apparently. Which is supposed to be very, or parts of Skegness do really good fish and chips. There you go. You'll know where I mean. So, good night, everybody, to Chris Kirk. Good night, Chris. They're having my live on bedtime and having my life. No problem, mate. You take care. And Bizro says not far then at all from him. Grimsby, Skegness, all nice places. Right, so anybody got anything else? We're gonna drop this off in about 10-15 minutes, and then you can all get back to your wonderful lives on a Saturday night rather than listening to me ranting on about metallic green waste. But in the meantime, has anybody been out detecting this weekend? Have you made some decent finds? And if you haven't yet, you may go out tomorrow. I'm not detecting tomorrow. I'm fishing from 3 o'clock onwards. Maybe 4 o'clock onwards. I've got to get as much fishing in before the detecting kicks in, because as soon as MP fields are harvested, the fishing will take a sidestep, and I will be pretty much full on with my detecting. Does he go on his push bike, Graham? There you go. Possibly, sir. I don't know actually. But we love a rant. Yeah, we've got to do it. We've got to do it. The thing is, there's too many people. Here's the thing about detecting that's really got my my goat at the moment. There's a lot of people coming into the detecting hobby, right? A lot of people coming into the detecting hobby that are not linked to detecting. Does that make sense? So they don't detect. They don't know much about detecting. But because they've got a grasp on modern technology, they think they can make money off the back of detecting. But you never see these people doing a great deal about combating metallic waste. It always seems to be gobshites like me that are doing it. We've got to get a united front with get rid of all the trash out of detecting and the dead wood. And have some real people that have got some real genuine fight about them to fight the good fight against it. Grimsby are the best fish and chips. Right, yeah, could well be actually. I've got a place in Lincolnshire where I detect, right, and I go for fish and chips, and I'll tell you where it is, Market Raisin, and I've never seen a fish as big. It's literally the size of it just dwarfs the plate. And up here, our fish and chip shops, because we live on the coast, of course, you would think they were pretty good, and they're pretty average compared to Lincolnshire. I've never seen fish and chips like anything as I've seen in Lincolnshire. So Lydia Lancaster's been out detecting. She found a Saxon pin, a Saxon strap end, and a few other bits and bobs. That's fantastic work, Lydia. Great to know that you're out doing the business, as you do every year. Thoughts on the machine that uses your phone as a control box? I don't like the idea. I've seen them, air detectors, I think they're called. Darren, I can't listen. I'm not going to slag a detector off until I've used it. But my main concern would be two main concerns about the air detector is you're using your phone. So if it was my personal phone, my Samsung Galaxy, if I use that as a detecting device as your control box, like the air detectors do, I would be pretty much sure that it would go flat after an hour, because the battery life on some of these modern phones is pretty naff. So I would expect a good 8 hours of battery life from the air detector. Are you going to get it? The second concern that I may have, or I do have, about the air detectors is their robustness of taking the beatings that detectors take for a full season detector in here in the UK. Might be all right for a wander around, some local permission for an hour, but every week, maybe twice a week in some places, and you're literally battering your detector on stubble and plough and pasture each time. Is the air detector going to be able to put up with it? I don't know the answers. It doesn't look very robust to me, but I would love to be proved wrong. Not enough people nowadays who get on the soapbox. No, everyone's frightened about doing it, Rob. That's the problem. It's a real problem. Air detector would last an hour. Yeah, I'm pretty much of the same. The same as you about that. The same opinion, Bizro. I don't think. I'd love it to be a good product. It looks gimmicky. It looks a good idea. I just think that it's not going to do the business. I just can't see it. Neil, what drugs are the Lincoln fish on? They're on growth hormones. I'm telling you, I've never seen. I've got pictures of Tat about 5 or 6 years ago when we were down at Market Raisin, and the fish was like a side of a halibut. It was just enormous. Rob's back in. They want to gag us, so it's easy to do what they want. Well, yeah, they do. They like to suppress the people. You can't suppress the people forever, Rob. That's the thing. And when things, we've all got children, we've all got grandchildren, we've all got wives, we've all got husbands, we've all got friends and family. We shouldn't be having to put up with metallic waste being put on our crops. We've got enough to deal with. We've got enough to deal with that's floating around in the bloody air. We've got, what about the app where you log your find, be hacked and your fields plundered at night? I would not trust any of them, Bizro. I wouldn't, honestly. There's too many people coming into this hobby, right? This is only my opinion, with all these fancy ideas. They're not detectorists. They just want to make money off the back of the detectorist. Just be careful what you wish for with these things, okay? I just do not like the idea of anything like that. But of course, there seems to be a lot of people now running with these individuals that think, they can make a lot of a few quid off the back of detectorists. I'm a great believer of the hobbies. The people that are in business within the hobbies should at least have a background in detecting, or know how to detect, know how to use detectors, or actually, bizarrely, be detectorists themselves. There's not a lot of them around either. Where we at? I wouldn't either. Good stuff. We've got good man through words. That's good to hear. Have you retired now, Mr. Rushton? Not seen you out for a few years, pal. No, I've not retired, mate. I've not been able to get out in anywhere near as much as as I used to do, mate. Because of COVID, pretty much, it knackered it up for us. We've been a couple of times, not found a great deal. Melanie's had cancer. Of course, everybody knows Melanie's had cancer. So that pretty much knocked me detecting on my head for a number of months, for 6 months, in fact. So my detecting for the first time in about 30 years has took a back seat. I've not done a great deal of detecting. I've not found a hammered coin or a Roman coin for some time. May was the last time I was out detecting in any shape or form. And of course, I'm running the unearthed digs as well. So no, I've not, and I'll never retire from it though. I'll be out and about from next week onwards, fingers crossed, so people can have a look at what I find or what I don't find out in the field. But believe me, I'm still as passionate about detecting and still as excited about detecting as I was when I was a kid. I just need to get out and about. It's Haddock, Neil Irwin. At one time, Grimsby was the biggest fishing port in the world. Yeah, no, there was tons of fish. Well, am I right in thinking that tuna fish was landed at Grimsby at one time, Gareth? Tuna fish. I'm sure I read a book about tuna being landed from the boats at Grimsby at one time. I'd reckon air detector in one session wouldn't last. Would not shy a fine spot on an app, on a phone app. I trust no one, especially not a faceless app. Well said. And I share your views 100%, Liddy, on that particular subject, and as a lot of subjects of yours, I share. But I wouldn't trust this sort of thing. I wouldn't do it. We've got the summer of 2021. Argo K. Well, happy hunting, mate. Next time you lads are out. I didn't know that, Graham. Pass my best wishes on to Mel. Yeah, no, she's recovering very well. She's she suffered. I think she suffered mentally from cancer as well. Because it's not a nice thing to be diagnosed with. Of course, anybody that gets diagnosed with cancer knows that it's a difficult thing. And of course, I just stopped detecting. I stopped doing everything. And bizarrely, when Mel had cancer as well, was right in between our sheep farming, lambing season, and we continued to lamb. So she did very well going in and out of hospital with the treatment, and then coming home and still getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to help me or help each other look after the baby lambs that were born, which is no mean feat. So yes, Paul, thanks very much for that, mate. You're a good man. And loaded. Where we at? What else have I got? What else have I got coming up? So we've got a lot of where we are. We've got a lot of people watching. Actually, we've got plenty of people on YouTube still keeping up. Not so many on Facebook. I have to say, Facebook seems to be dropping off. I don't know whether or not we knock Facebook off for the next link and just concentrate on YouTube, because we seem to be getting a lot of people watching us via YouTube, but not many via Facebook. And I don't know why that is, but there you go. Let me have another drink of the shampoo, folks. Well, honestly, I don't.
Considering you don't like it, yeah.
I'm drinking it, Mel. If you look there, I've drunk that much, but it just feels so unnatural to drink water, because in the mouth of it, you think a lot. You think you
can't get your gob round.
No, it's not that I can't get my mouth around it, but you expect radox to come out of it. Fruit of the forest fragrance in its water. It just doesn't work. It's like having an old Garrett machine with a Chinese coil bolted on it. It just doesn't work. We've got lots of people joining us, folks. We've got lots of people. We've got BC Treasure Trails. Hello, folks. Hello to you, sir. Kevicus the first. Hello there, bud. Good to hear you. We've got Mudslinger. God bless both. Very kind. We've also got very possible Graham out trawlers. We're bringing in fish from all over before the decline of the fishing trade. Yeah, no, Grimsby was the main. I mean, we had some main ports up here, fishing ports along the west coast, as you can imagine. Barrow, Workett and Whitehaven were all big fishing ports and more, but there was nothing to compete with Grimsby. There you go, mate. See, I don't forget. They all loaded. John is in the house. John Clayton. Hi, John. Well done for spelling my name correctly, mate. I love it, because a lot of people put the old HAM in there, don't they? Hope you're well, John. Keep up the good work on your wonderful YouTube channel. BC Treasure Trails is back on. Good to hear from you, sir. And with the fisting it like that. Now, here's one. We had a troll, by the way, folks. Just to let you know, we had a troll we had a troll on YouTube this week on the Unearthed Dig. I don't know if you've all watched the Unearthed last Sunday's Unearthed Dig film that I put up, and it was, thanks very much for your nice comments. Very nice, as always. But we had a troll. And I actually found out where he was from, because he had his own YouTube channel, of course. And this guy was called 11 Seconds, who feeds pigeons in places like London or cities or wherever it might be. But apparently, digging up coins is for morons. And I don't know why this gentleman come out with such a statement. Maybe he was watching the YouTube channel one night and had a few beers and decided to type onto his keyboard those words, digging up coins or dug up coins are for morons. And I just found that very, very strange. So rather than respond to him, which I actually did respond to him, I have to say, I probably shouldn't have, but I did, and then I blocked him. But before that, I had a cheeky look on his YouTube channel, and I found it one of the most bizarre channels I've ever seen. Feeding pigeons or filming feeding pigeons in a square in a city somewhere like London wouldn't really attract lots of people to watch. So never respond to tossers or tosserers, as Mudslinger said. And you're right, you shouldn't respond to these people, but sometimes they just get you, don't they, if you're not too careful. Thank you from John Clayton, metal detecting in Devon. Hope the weather's nice down there, John. I hope you're finding many nice things. I'm not sure if you're digging up a great deal at the moment because of the crops and things, but it won't be long until everybody's out and about detecting on their permissions. And I just hope and pray that you just don't get hammered by green waste, metallic waste, or whatever we want to call it. John's getting a hello from BC Treasure Trails, which is a great logo of a guy on the back of a bear with his detector. There you go. It's either a polar bear, a bear, or a bear, I would say. He'll tell me now. So yes, there you go, folks. So articles for the magazine. If you can get me some articles over, that would be fantastic. Where have I got? Oh, it's gone. Any articles from the magazine would be fantastic. Just, it doesn't have to be, ages old. Any new finds that you've made this year would be good to hear. We've got quite a few nice articles already in the bag for the next magazine, which will be very enjoyable, actually, for people to read, like every one of the Detectress magazines are. But we need pretty good content, and the best place to go for the content is off the wonderful detectorists like yourselves. So please feel free to share a story. It doesn't have to be War and Peace. It can be literally a few sentences and an image of your favorite coin or artifact. Get them fired over to us via email. What's the crack with these pie costs tatters? Now then, Kev, let me just see if I can understand your Melanie might be able to help me here. What's the crack with these pie costs tatters?
What?
Kev's put up, what's the crack with these pie costs tatters? Don't know what you mean, Kev. Now, when it comes to costs and tat, all you can say about tat is loaded. I wouldn't mind being a pound behind him driving around in these big Mercedes cars. But I'm not sure what it is. It's harsh wilds here. I live 8 hours below Alaska in the British Columbian Rockies. How amazing. Look at this, folks. It's the harsh wilds where I live 8 hours below Alaska in the British Columbian Rockies. Now then, here's the thing. You've got my attention, and I'm extremely interested in this area that you live below Alaska. What's up?
What's the pie cost? 50p?
Oh. Do you know what? Anyway, listen, I'm going to get onto these jokes in a minute, right? The harsh wilds where I live 8 hours below Alaska. What sort of things do you find there? And when you say it's harsh, BC Treasure Trails, do you mean it's snow, ice? Do you only get certain hours of daylight? And what sort of finds do you make? I'd be interested to find out. What's the crack with these pies cost tatters? What's pies cost? We've got 50 pence. We've got Mudslinger saying £5. We've got meat and potato pie. And Kev, they cost about a pun from the bakery. A pun means a pound in Cumbrian, or pund, even as people on the West Coast call them a pund. Further up into Sylhet, probably a pun. And Melanie's laughing at Kev because Kev, all you people can see Kevicus the First. He is the funny guy that comes on our digs and entertains everybody because he's one of the most entertaining individuals that you'll ever meet. Sorry, man. It's been a good day. I'm glad it's been a good day, and I'm glad you're having a beer or two. Andrew Allen says 10 bob. You got me, Kev. You got me, mate. You got me. It's not an hard job to get me, actually, at the moment. I'm hoping to reclaim a Viking axe head that I threw away in a drunken moment in a canal in my old back garden where I used to live, and some Warhammer metal figures too. So will you get that out with a magnet, possibly? Possibly a magnet, John. Good evening, everyone. Typical a Wiganer, joins as you're talking about pies. I've been to Wigan town once, and I did sample a shop that sold the best at the time, the best hot pork pies. The best hot pork pies, Danny, are they still there? You can tell me and bring me some next time I see you. I search all gold rush trails and fur trading routes, harsh being -40 in the winter. Listen to this, folks. Come on. This is really interesting from BC Treasure Trails. I search old gold rush trails and fur trading routes, harsh being -40 in the winter for 5 months. And we have 2 seasons here in the mountains, winter and not winter. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Even more interesting, and I don't know your name, so I'm going to call you BC. What sort of things do you find, BC, on these gold rush trails and the fur trading routes? Are you finding any old coinage? Are you finding artifacts? What sort of things are you finding? It'd be interesting to know. We're taking out wild today. Our lovely UK fields are near, they're here of Oz for the Gold. What we on? Need a good spade there. Yeah, you do need a good spade. But how amazing. Went detecting in Bakewell and went into the Bakewell tart pie shop. They were yummy. I can imagine, mate. I can imagine. I mean, if you're anything like me, folks, that loves your food, you don't mind sampling some of these rather nice delights that these other towns and cities produce. We were talking today the here of Oz for the gold, or our lovely English fields for the history. What's everyone else's preference? I mean, of course, it's the history for me. But if I was asked to swap for the Oz goldfields to the English history, it'd always be the English history. Yeah, Andrew, some of the early messages were going missing earlier. But you need a good spade out there below Alaska from BC. Amazing, actually, that we've got people on here. People, right? People from as far as Alaska downwards on our live chat tonight, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And we've got Neil saying pork pie's hot, dirty, aren't they? Do you know what? A hot pork pie has got to be one of the best pies on the planet. We used to have them here locally and used to bite into them and all the juices used to run down your chin and you used to look like a little bit of a dosser. But you know what? We just continue to eat them anyway. But fantastic. I'm just waiting now for a reply from BC because he's caught my attention because we don't often hear from people as far as, you know, the Rockies, Alaska and these wonderful places on the map, because we almost automatically think Europe and the UK and Australia is pretty much the only places that people detect. But we've got people all the way out there detecting and sharing the passion of detecting pretty much like we do, which I think is fantastic. And here he is, axe heads, old gold pans, horseshoes, bottles, spoons, the usual. All pretty interesting stuff because you're following in the footsteps of the the trailblazers, and you're following the footsteps of the people, the pioneers that obviously went out there to work and scratch out a living in a harsh terrain. So I hope you get some good luck, BC. I really do. I'm going to keep. Hopefully, you'll keep keeping us updated on what what else you're finding. Yeah, you could join the group. You could even do if you fancy doing because we've never had an overseas article in the Detectorist magazine yet, so you're more than welcome to put one in. You're more than welcome to put one in, folks. Freeze it. Where we at? I never knew you could eat them hot. I bet they're nice with beans. They're just the best. Hot pork pie is just the best. Freeze it now on the day. Bit late. The party evening, folks, was up today. Found nothing. Doesn't matter. Sam, you went out detecting. That's the main thing. Doesn't matter if you don't find anything. It was part of the adventure. And BC comes back as the cabin builders. Absolutely. I mean, these guys were pretty much, they're on a different level to most humans of the day. They probably lived on next to nothing and scratched out a living thinking they were going to get rich off the back of gold. Some did, most didn't. But you'd probably better put me right on that. And Kev's obviously interested in you. Way up north to Alaska while the rush is on. Would love to get up there with a pan. But how interesting, do you know, how interesting, right? How interesting have we got this person, from the Rockies and out there in the winter at -40 and they don't have particularly good weather like we do here and still has the passion to get out detecting. And he's got Bizro, I bet that cold weather eats batteries. I bet it does. Be interested to see what sort of detector you use, BC, out in the Rockies, out below Alaska there. Very interesting. I done Diggers Dips Detectathon last weekend, won a Blackadder Sod Buster Spade in their comps. It's great because I have been using their spade since '89 and I've nearly everyone have their made. Good stuff, mate. I don't know if you know this, John, but I'm completely against these live draws on Facebook. They're not, these people that do the live draws are not linked to the trade, yet they're making a lot of money off the back of detecting, which is completely wrong. But that's just my opinion, of course. Loaded. Yeah, loaded is the word, mate. So going back to the I'm just trying to see if we've got a lot of pie stuff going on, folks. I'm just trying to get on pot pie, baked beans, brown sauce. Not tried that one yet, Brian, but you know what, I'd have a go at it. Darren's back. I bet they don't get metallic green waste in the Rockies. I bet they don't, I bet they bloody don't get green waste like we do. Found gold in Wales last year. panning feeling, great feeling. I bet it was. I bet that was a fantastic achievement. Well done. But the thing is, you know, how amazing have we got? I'd love to know what detector he uses. Ah, right. Sorry, John. My apologies, John. I thought you meant it was one of these Facebook live draw things. That's good, though. If it's a charity, veterans charity, that is excellent news, mate. You know what I'm like with me rants, John. Sorry, I'm very late due to an electrical call out at a farm. I detect on grain transfer fan control panel repaired in Farmers Good Books. Absolutely, because that grain needs protecting in them buildings. So well done, Stans lad. Good to see you. Good to see you on here. I'm just waiting for BC to come back. He might not come back all the way from out in Alaska way, and we might just see him come back. All profits go to them. That's great. Excellent. Well, you know, there's a lot of good charities out there that do a lot of good work for the veterans. We support, or did support, a veteran that bought some detectors off us and then gave the detectors to veterans to use out in the field, which I think was a rather smart and cool gesture. So yeah, BC hasn't come back yet, so he might be having some problems with his internet connection all the way out in the Rockies below Alaska. I was going to ask him two questions: what sort of weather you've got at the moment, and what sort of detector is he using on these gold trails? But we haven't got him back yet. We wait in anticipation, because I know Kev, the legendary Kev who's watching this, Kevikus the First, he will be also interested in that sort of thing, because, like me, he's probably got an imagination that runs a bit wild. But isn't it good to see other detectorists rather than just us UK guys? I know we get one or two from America from time to time. We had California, we had the Hunter GT, and we had some others on. But I think he's the first from the Alaska region, or below Alaska region. So that's a rather interesting one for us. We did have somebody from New Zealand on the first two live streams, and we also had an Aussie on. It was a nice fella, actually, but we've not seen him since. And I think we had somebody from India on once as well. He's probably fighting bears off. Absolutely. Well, you're going to come across things like that up there, aren't you? You know, detecting is probably quite a dangerous hobby in some of these countries where you think that you're out in the wilds and there could be a bear knocking about. He could be using a gold bug. Gold bug's a good one. I think he's using a mine lab. I don't know why, but I think he's using a mine lab. Blackadder Sodbuster, bloody good spade I use myself. I tell you what is a good spade, folks, when we're talking about the spades, and we've just run out of stock of them, actually, is the Nocta stainless steel two-piece stainless premium spade. What a spade that is. I mean, it cuts through the turf like butter, and of course you can adjust it to any height you want. A lot of people first thought, well, with it being two-piece, it's going to be weak, but it's as strong as anything. It's a terrific thing. We've got Tony Brown out tomorrow, early detecting in Worcestershire using my SP35, my simplex. Yeah, good coils, Tony. We're selling quite a lot of them at the moment, the SP35s. They're the new ones, is it 13x5 or 13x8? Rather powerful coil, gives you good depth on pasture as well. Rather smart coil. Worth the investment, certainly worth the investment. Be interesting to see if he uses headphones. If there's bears around, he probably doesn't, but he's not come back on, BC. And there's people now asking the question. You know, he's got us interested because he comes from a completely different environment to the rest of us. You know, -40 is some, and he's done well to get an internet connection out there, I think. What's he got? Get Blackadder, bear, spade, BC. Ready for a new spade. Yeah, them Nocta stainless steel premium spades or something else. I've took one out of stock and used myself. I used to use something called a JR stainless spade, which I thought was pretty damn good. And they were good, but they're a bit of a rigid, heavy beast. So what I've done is I've put that to one side. I'll probably give that to somebody in the future. And I'm starting to use the Nocta two-piece stainless premium spade, and it's just a terrific thing. You can adjust it and pack it down into a small space, and you could have it over your back in a backpack for transportation. It goes in the back of the car nice and small, and then, of course, when you're detecting, you just join it together and away you go. and it's as strong as anything. It cuts through the turf like, you know. It's even got a bottle opener built into it as well. It's a terrific thing. One of the best spades we've ever stocked, in fact. We've got Gareth. What do you think of this new I asked for one, Gareth. It caught my attention, these new carbon spades, which seem to be really sort of taking off. But the problem is he's getting hold of one to test or buy. I couldn't get one. Somebody sent me a link. To see if I could pick one up. I think it was Len Jackman, actually. Len, who watches this. I don't know if Len's still on. We're actually going up in numbers, shooting up in numbers, actually. We went down, actually. So we're actually shooting up. So Len might still be on. I was sent the link, but the guy seemed a little bit quiet. He wasn't really sort of proactive enough to say, I don't really sort of do a demo spade and whatever. So I was going to buy one, but he went off the cliff a bit. Imagine digging the ground in what would be solid ice. We mourn when the ground's hard for a few weeks without rain. Absolutely do. We've got Marion. Thanks, Graham and Mel, for talking about some great topics, especially the green waste. Look forward to the next one. You're more than welcome, Marion. You're more than welcome anytime here. Always good to see you. All Codgers Detecting. How are you, sir? I'm not sure if I've come across you before, but you're more than welcome on here. And we've got history on it. If I've got one, it's a beautiful spade to use and look at. I've got one. Yeah, they're brilliant. You're talking about the Nocta 2-piece, Darren, or you're talking about the carbon ones? I'm pretty sure you're talking about the Nocta one, aren't you? Yeah, no, they are. They're terrific. I can't wait to use mine this season. Good on plough, good on pasture. When we first tested them, we thought, are they going to be a weak spot on the join, because of the 2-piece system? But Nocta have done a terrific job in making that a really strong spade. And of course, the business end of it, the spade end of it, if you will, you've just got to be careful because it's ultra sharp. It's an ultra sharp stainless. Oh, you've got the Mega Grafter one, right? Okay, I thought you'd had the Nocta one. No, I'm interested in these spades. I'm interested in them. You've got to remember, I'm a pretty rough guy when it comes to detecting. It's got to be bomb-proof because I'll break it. I always remember exclusively detecting on some of the arable fields in the south where we didn't really need a big, strong spade. So I was detecting with something called, at the time, the little bulldog spades, because they were handy getting down on your knees. You have your knee pads on, digging in the plough fields. I ruined 3 bulldog spades in 18 months, and that was on arable. So yeah, I'd be interested to see about them, the Mega Grafter ones. I'm not sure if he's going to supply to the trade or not, but we'd certainly be interested in looking at them spades. But at the moment, the Nocta 2-piece one is, as far as we're concerned, is the beast. It really is. It's a terrific piece of kit. So yeah, BC hasn't come back, folks. I don't know if he's disappeared off the channel, which is a shame. He's maybe internet access has dropped off. We've only got a few minutes left anyway. Wouldn't it be nice if he came on just before sort of 9 o'clock hit? But I'm not sure if he's going to come back on and answer some of our questions, which is a shame. But we might pick him up on one of the live streams again in the future. It'd be nice to think that he would come back on. Let's just have a look if we've got people watching. We haven't got many people watching on Facebook tonight, folks, so we might knock the Facebook live stream off on the head and just concentrate on YouTube. Nocta make some cracking products. Yeah, they do, actually. You've got to hand it to Nocta because, it can't be an easy industry to be in, the detecting game, because you've also got to think about the products that are already out there, the products that other manufacturers make. How can you make something better? So what I like about Nocta is this. I'm just going to move my computer just that way a touch. Nocta do make some wonderful products, and hats off to them. Hats off to them. They've really smashed the industry in so much as bringing affordable, smart, good-looking, strong, robust detecting accessories and detectors that actually work. So I can only praise Nocta for doing a wonderful job. I mean, you're up against people like Minelab who are real industry leaders in the detecting world, but give Nocta the due. They're really bringing out some cracking accessories and such like, you know, and we want to see that. We want to see the industry growing and bringing out new materials for us detectorists to use and to make our life out in the field just that little bit better. Hats off to them, yeah. Andrew Allen mentions about the bringing our multi-frequency machine out. So yeah, the multi-frequency detector will be interesting in so much as this is Nokta's first move into the multi-frequency side of things. So I'm not sure when the release is going to be, but it can't be far off as I'm looking at the calendar. I would say in the next month or two, we'll probably see the emergence of the new multi-frequency Nokta detector. I'm hearing it's called the multiplex. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But I think that it'll be a damn good machine. It'll look very similar to the Simplex. Multi-frequency means it'll work very well on the beaches. Let's see how it performs. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a winner. Rob Quint says he'll order one of the Nokta spades. Very good, Rob. Very good. You'll be mega pleased. Out of stock, of course, at the moment, so they're that popular. That gives you some idea. We've got another batch coming in maybe Monday, Tuesday, but they're just a terrific premium stainless spade. They really are. I saw Addicted to Bips do a review on the Megrafter, and it looked pretty sturdy. No, it'll be interesting, Gareth. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in it. Can I give a shout out to Simplex Plus Owners Group on Facebook and recommend Simplex users to give it a join? Clive runs a good group and they're a good community of Simplex users. And of course, Unearthed UK, which is one of the best detecting shops out there, if not the best, sponsors it or helps promote it. There you go. Have they sent you any Profind stock? No, the problem is with the Profind, I'll just talk about this very briefly, Danny. The components that are used in the Profind 35 Minelab probe, which is obviously the best probe that Minelab make, in my opinion, have run out. There's a world shortage of certain plastics and components because of the stupid COVID virus that's causing these issues. We're also having problems with Coiltech coils as well, the 15-inch Coiltech coil 14B9 and the 10B5, 10B5 being my favourite. The components for the Coiltech coils are coming through slowly as well. So there's the problem. Not at the moment. We've been waiting 5 months. I think we haven't. Would you say the Profind 35 hasn't been in stock for about 5 months? Yeah, 5 months. Ridiculous. Not Minelab's fault. They just can't source the components. Isn't the multi-cruise a multi-frequency? No, Gareth, it isn't. It's interchangeable frequencies, which means that you can change from frequency to frequency, but it's not a true multi-frequency detector. There you go. Where we at? We're talking spades, folks. I think people coming back on with spades. Next spade, make a no Rambo spade. There's a new wider head one coming out, and a footrest needs to be open to push soil out. Footrest. No, it's all good stuff, isn't it? You know, I'm a great believer of this hobby. You know, people coming into it and actually that are detectorists and understand what detectorists want, and having a go at making some new products. I think it's fantastic. I do. I really do. I really like. I mean, we stock some things that nobody else stocks in the country, you know, stuff like the Viper chest harnesses or chest accessory holders. So people haven't got a fines pouch around the waist. They've actually got a chest accessory holder. I use one, and they're absolutely phenomenal. We sell thousands of these things because it helps the detectorist out in the field have a better experience rather than pulling the pants up all the time with this fines belt, fines pouch getting heavier and heavier with scrap and whatever else they're finding. You've got it all around your shoulders and your waist with everything in front of you, from your probe, water, car keys, fines pouch. Fantastic accessory. You've got to, and that's what we've done from day one. Is stock stuff that the detectorists want, like these coin boards, coins and accessories. Brilliant. I'm a member of the Simplex group, and I'll second Darren's comments. It's a bloody good group. Yeah, there's a lot of newbies on that group, on the Simplex Plus group, and I think a lot of new people that come onto it. Some of them are very, very new to it, and I think Clive and the guys, or most of the admin team, I should say, do a good job. The chest harness is superb. Oh, they're just brilliant. The thing is that the original chest harnesses that we stocked for the first 5 or 6 years of trading were really good. They were Velcro. They had Velcro straps on them, if you will. And then they brought out one with zips, so you could actually seal, seal the compartments and the pockets on them, Danny, which was a game changer for us. As soon as they came out, we just said, get as many as we can, because we knew that the detectorists would love them. And we're selling a lot. And I don't know why this is, but we're selling a lot in Essex. Essex and Kent seems to be the hotspot for the chest accessory holders. We just sell so many of them down there because people are now tuning into the fact that they can get away from using a fines pouch around the waist, and they can have everything in front of the chest at their disposal, and you can pretty much fit everything in them. They're just terrific accessories. Viper make the best stuff accessory wise for detectorists on the planet. Clothing, military grade clothing, fantastic. A little bit expensive in parts, some of it, but really does work. I wear their boots, the pants, the gloves, and everything. I get my hands on anything that's made by Viper, because we've got the contract to stock Viper, of course, which is good. Need a strong and to take apart hinge will die in seconds. Need strong and to take apart hinged will die in seconds. I'm not sure what that is, Mud, but Gareth Howard, a thumbs up to you, Gareth. I think yeah. I'm just trying to work out. I'm just got a little bit of a freeze going on there, folks. There's a couple of comments coming through together, and I can't actually put them up because I've lost them, and I can't see what people are saying. Anyway, yeah. So there you go, folks. So yeah, there is going to be new machine coming out this year from Simplex, from Nocta, I should say, which is going to be interesting. I'm not sure of any other detectors coming out. This year. There might be a surprise where we have a new detector on the horizon, but who knows? But the Nocta are definitely bringing out. I thought about the chest pouch harness, wondering if it's restricted with a coat underneath. No, it isn't. No, you'd be amazed. I wear one; it fits more sizes, and I'm a big guy. But they're just a terrific bloody accessory. They are really. No, you can put a coat over it or underneath it. You can slot it pretty much on. We've got a lot on coming up. Comment time for the zipped one, but only thing I would improve is rather than having one zipped on the pocket, I'd have a double zip so you can have the opening position at the top of the pouch. Yeah, no, it's a good point actually, rather than the corner. But obviously they're actually made for military. They're a military spec accessory, and we've mapped them over to the detecting world. So where we are. Gareth has come in with, I must admit, I like the look of the Nocta backpack where you can fit your detector and all the accessories. Yeah, they are good, Gareth. The only downside of them is, we sell quite a few of them, but they're quite expensive at 80 quid. They are just a little bit expensive. That's only my opinion. People don't shoot me down, but I just think they're just a touch on the expensive side. But they're good. They are good. They're very interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff out there that a lot of people don't know exists. Actually, Bizro, good to see you again, mate. You take care. Love it. See you, and hopefully you'll get out detecting in your part of the world soon. Mudslingers on the Carlin Black Label, I guess. And why not? It's a Saturday night. You enjoy it. I've had Carlin Black Label for ages. We used to drink that when we were younger. I can't even remember what it tastes like. Was it quite strong? I think it was. Yeah, Carlin Black Label. That brings back memories. And white lightning cider. So yeah, I've probably missed a couple of bits and pieces, but I don't know where we are. But yeah, going back to the accessory holders, one of the best products we've ever sold. And we keep them I think we're the cheapest in the country. Actually, we keep the prices down. They retail out about 45 quid, but we put them down. So I'm off now, Andrew. Yeah, you take care, my mate. Enjoy the rest of it. We'll be gone pretty soon. And Lighting Patriot, I'm old now. I'm old as well, Mud. I feel it as well every bloody day. I do feel old. And Lighting Patriot, 2 hours late and still going. Wow, just finishing, I guess, about 10 minutes off. Quite a few people coming in a bit later. I'm just talking about green waste, metallic waste, and Lighting Patriot. I think it was you that put the link up about the contractor getting fined for spreading it on the fields in the northwest. We've done a rather long. If you get a chance to watch this, watch it because we've done a rather extensive live stream based around toxic metallic waste. Jeff Block's in the house, just late back from the pub. I don't blame you. Good to see you, Jeff. Yes, you're very right, Graham. 80 quid is a bit steep. I think if they were marketed around about 69 quid, 65 quid, I think they would have sold Gareth a lot of them. We sold quite a lot initially, and then it sort of dropped off a bit of a cliff. He drinks again. He drinks out of the shampoo bottle. Bubble bath. Still can't believe it. Yes, Graham, Malcolm, you're under Malcolm because you've got two accounts, haven't you? You've got Malcolm and you've got an Enlightened Patriot. Where are we at? Let's have a look. So yeah, have a look at the green stuff. People need to see it, not hear it. I don't know what that means. People need to see it, not hear it. I'm not catching up what you're saying there, Mudslinger, but you'll know better than me what you mean. Kyle Black Label, you mean? I don't know. I get them mixed up. Yeah, no, it's easy to do. I don't know why you've got two accounts though. I mean, I'd get rid of one of them and just keep two. Sorry, I get rid of one of them and just keep the one because it can be quite difficult. So what else have we got going on? Green waste. No, it's right, mate. Green. It's a horrendous, isn't it? It's just horrendous. You know, how is this stuff still being spread on the fields after all this time? It's just bloody madness. 10 years of it or more we've had, but probably more actually, probably 20 years. Right, folks, it's getting to that time again when I'm going to start saying goodbye to you all. Thanks for coming on tonight. I really appreciate it. Me and Melanie are tired. I'm going to dive in the in the shower in 5 minutes. Good to see you all. Take care. And I'm hoping to see you all again soon. Bye for now, everybody.